Thanks very much. Thanks very much, briesbe. Hi, everyone. I'm really happy to be here at GDQ. Thank you so much for everyone who donated for the tuxedo incentive. I'm really glad to be doing that. I brought a couple of people with me. I'm going to introduce them real quick. I've got Jaguar King joining me,
Hello, hello. Welcome, guys.
and I've got miniomegaking as well.
Howdy.
I'm going to get right into it. So time starts in 3, 2, 1, go. So I want to get right into it because there is a little intro section. We're playing Metal Gear Solid 3 on European Extreme, which means it's game over if discovered. If at any point a guard sees me, it will call a mission failed and it'll make me do the room again. Also, because the donation incentive was met, we'll have to wear a tuxedo in every room possible. That is the majority of the game. The tuxedo makes the run harder in a lot of ways. It gives you one of the worst camo indexes. It's about minus 45%, so the guards will see us really easily. It also means we can't use it as a disguise for the lab section, so we'll have to do that in our tuxedo and sneak around the guards. And also, you can't use CQC while you have the tuxedo on. So we'll have to come up with some new, interesting strats for some of the bosses. Before I can put the tuxedo on, I'm just going to retrieve it from this tree here, and then we'll get on with it. But yeah, I can't believe it raised $20,000. I'm so happy.
Yep, that is correct. So if you really think European Extreme is hard, wait until you see Tuxedo European Extreme. As Apache said, everything is going to be way, way harder. And thanks for all the people who actually donate to make this run actually possible. So as you guys can see, we are now suited up and we're ready for the run.
Yeah, so in the early section, it does change quite a bit. Because the guards will see you from much further away, during the Virtuous mission at the start, guards are mainly facing towards you in the room, so you have to take them out from much further. I'll try and point out all the differences, but since the last time Metal Gear Solid 3 was ran at GDQ, we have undergone a few changes in the normal route as well. There's a new way to fight some of the bosses, and also some cool glitches, so hopefully we'll get to show those off later.
Also worth mentioning, we're playing on the Japanese version of Metal Gear Solid 3, which is actually faster than the US version of the game. So if you enjoy the Japanese voice acting of Naked Snake, this is the time.
Yeah, I really wanted to play in Japanese just because, well, I learned the game on Japanese, so a lot of the sound cues I'll use during the game, I need the Japanese voice acting to know when to move and stuff, so that helps. But also, all the other MGS3 runs that were done at GDQ were done in English. So I'd just like to show the Japanese version of the game. There are some incredible voice lines in this one. I'm going to use a little trick here where we trank a guard and then roll into him. That will just instantly knock them out. On European Extreme, I'm like missing my shots here. Here we go. We could be in trouble here. I might be a little bit late over this bridge. I kind of have to roll because I'm rocking the bridge back and forth as well. Okay, we're good. That was a little nerve-wracking because my shot there is going to make the guard run and then go on the radio. If I shoot too late, he will actually reach the other side of that tree and then he'll just be able to see me no matter what. So, you know, don't miss your shots and we're all good.
The reason why you didn't notice him was because when guards are in a caution state, they generally tend to ignore sounds that Snake would make. And what Apache did right there is a technique called the quick headshot. As long as you are on a similar floor plane as a soldier, if you hold down the fire button and then go into first person while holding L1 and then hold R2 and L2, you will automatically lock onto their heads. You can just let go and immediately get a headshot on them. We use that in a couple areas.
Had to do a little backup there. Because I rolled into that guard late, he was facing towards me. So the backup there is just hold him up and then take him out. If you try and run for the door while he's facing towards you, as soon as you turn your back on a guard, they'll alert. But we've got a little slow walk out the Virtuous mission here, so briesbe, if you want to hit us up for some donations, that would be cool.
Oh yeah, I've got tons, especially for you, Apache. So I've got $50 from Raichu that says, Apache, I'm so proud to see you on the big stage repping MGSR. We're all rooting for you and can't wait to see you absolutely destroy the game. Best of luck. And this is in quotes, so it may be in a voice that I don't know, but it says, the spirit of the warrior will always be with you.
Oh, thanks so much, Raichu.
I also have $5 from Tiny Tim that says, hey all, Apache, I'm so delighted to see you continue your speedrunning journey by gracing the big stage of GDQ. I remember being there for your first marathon run, and it's fantastic to see how far you've come. I also cherish the fact I've come to know you as an amazing person and friend. You'll do amazing, so good luck with the run. Cheers.
Thanks so much, Tim. And that is true, was there my very first marathon run. We have come a long way, my friend. So we're at the Virtuous mission now, and that was the easy section. Right at the start of the Snake Eater mission, it's going to throw one of the hardest rooms in the entire game at us, in Tuxedo specifically. So we'll have to put the Tuxedo camo back on in just a second, but first I'm going to collect this mushroom. That's a trick for later. The first room with Snake Eater has this perfect roll you have to do in order to not get caught. We call it, I call it a frame one roll, but there's more than one frame, but not many. So it's a little bit spooky. It's one of the easiest places to get caught in the whole run, and as I was saying, it is game over if discovered. So if we get caught, it'll make us do it again. I will say quite a few times during this run, like, this is really hard. I know it's kind of implied, but some of the rooms, like, you really need to point it out with. So I'm just going to shut up and try and do this now. First roll's good, so now we have to throw this mushroom perfectly on the sound cue. And grab this wall and wait for that second guard to turn. Once he turns, I'm going to cook the grenade as I run behind him. That will silence my footsteps. And if I threw that mushroom out far enough, the guards won't see me as they leave, because they'll walk towards the mushroom, they'll inspect it, and then they'll turn around. But that looks good. That is genuinely one of the hardest rooms in the run, just because of how precise everything needs to be.
Yeah, and cooking the grenade and silencing your footsteps is a glitch. It only works on certain surfaces, weirdly enough, but it just so happens to work out exactly where we need it to.
Yeah, in Tuxedo specifically, there are a couple more rooms where we would be able to, if we could silence our footsteps with the grenade, it would be really useful. But in the normal Euro run, it works everywhere it needs to.
Yeah, this room right here is we just have to do movement to get to a cutscene trigger. It's going to lead into the very first boss, the Ocelot unit, which has quite a lot going on, and hopefully I will be able to explain it. But I believe, yes, we're going to be grabbing the cardboard box. We'll explain why we're getting this later. Just know that this is very important for the run.
It's the most important item in the whole run.
Yes,
this is one of the... It may be the first boss, but it's definitely one of the hardest. If you misstep at all, you will just get a continue, so I will concentrate for this one.
Yeah, so starting off, Apache is going to do a menu to equip the Mark 22 and a couple other things. And then when he gets out of here, he's going to look to the right, and he's going to shoot a guard in the side or the chest, doesn't matter where, as long as it's not a headshot. Walk down here, he's going to try and headshot this guard off from the distance. He got it. He's going to go over here, shoot that guard in the chest, roll over here, equip the stun grenade. He's going to throw it.
Oh, no, I'm definitely caught here. I'm just going to try and salvage it, but the roof guard's about to see
roof
me.
Guard, yeah.
So that whole... We're like stuck. Once I threw that stun grenade wrong, I was completely stuck because the roof guard was going to look down at where I'm stood, and I needed to be in the next room, essentially. So I knew I was kind of stuck there. But that's all it takes in this run, just one bad roll, and you are caught.
Yeah, we'll pick
That
back up
second
from
roll
here.
looks better.
Yeah, that was much better. So throw the stun grenade, it's going to go off, it's going to knock the wall to get all the guards to turn and look over at him. He's going to go through here, equip the stun grenade, and lean to the right. The sniper will not be able to see you while you're leaning because Snake's camera moves, but his model does not, so you can't get caught. Go over here, we're going to stand up on our toes, shoot that guard in the head, drop down, walk over here. We're going to again do that lean technique I mentioned to lean around this corner and shoot this guard way off in the distance. And then by the time we finish all of that, the one guard that we shot in the side earlier just knocks out and the fight ends.
Yeah, this is actually one of the hardest encounters in the game, and yeah, you could easily screw it up.
I'm just going from ahead of what I could have done differently, but it was just like, it's one of those, as soon as you make that little movement mistake, you're caught. And that really is like the name of the game for the entire run. Our camo index is incredibly low. We're very, very visible.
True European extreme.
So now I'm going to go for a little swim. Ruin my tux a little bit. There's a leech in the water, so you hear a little sound when the leech attaches to you. We have to take that off straight away because it will drain our stamina slowly. So the stamina bar is underneath the health bar, and while that's above half, when that goes below half, our aim will shake. And it will also make our stomach growl as well, which makes the guard sparse. So we need to keep our stamina high as possible. In a normal Euro run, we'll just use the animals camouflage, but obviously we can't do that in a tuxedo run.
Yeah, for those who don't know, the animals camouflage makes it so that even when your stamina goes below 2 bars, your hands won't shake. You'll have perfect aim the entire time.
Right, so this whole room's on a timer. If you like moving correctly or rolling correctly, you don't have enough time to kind of finish the room because it's really, really long and the guard cycles are always moving and changing. We have to take out the dogs here, both of them. As I say, because our camo index is so low, normally we could just ignore those, but they will see me as soon as I get over this tree. There's a little glitch in the HD version of the game. If I push the box against this electric fence, it won't actually electrocute me. That's not the same in the PlayStation 2 version, but it allows me to just set up on these 2 guards here really nicely. I'll wait for the first one to notice me. Once he begins walking away, I can shoot the second one. If I shoot the second guard too early, it will give me a caution. Cautions carry through the majority of the rooms in this game, so having a caution there makes the next room basically impossible, especially in the tuxedo.
Yeah, we took the dogs as well because they can spot you and they can cause an alert, then it continue.
Yeah, they bark twice and then you're done. You get a little bit more leeway than you do with regular guards, but they're still a problem. And we're doing a no-kill run, so I won't actually kill anyone here. Those guys that are dying to this exploding barrel here, they don't count. As far as the game's concerned anyway, like if you knock a guard off a map, off the map like a mountain, or if you shoot barrels and kill them that way, they don't count as kills. Alright, this is Ocelot's second boss fight, so I'll let these guys talk you through it, see if they can beat me finishing the fight.
So, yeah, just shot off at the start and then throw a stun grenade. Wait for Ocelot to kind of recover from that stun. We're going to throw another one, turn around, look back at him. We're going to shoot that, I believe it's a goat off in the distance.
Goat.
Yeah, get another headshot. Then Ocelot will fire back. He'll notice that we shot the goat and he'll yell at us. Then we'll hit him again, and then his backup unit, the rest of the Ocelot unit, will be like try and give him words of encouragement. And then we can get another free shot, and then that's it, he's done.
I gave you a little bit of time there, Mini. I fell off the mountain on purpose to give you a little bit more time to explain that fight.
Thank you.
This section of the game is really dark, so we're put into a cave, and Hideo Kojima, the way he designed this cave was that you would be lost in it for a long time, and as the longer you spend in here, the lighter it becomes. We don't have time to wait around for our eyes to adjust, so we're just going to get out of here right now. There's also a torch that you can find in the cave that helps you light it. You can use a cigar as well, but my health's kind of low, so I don't want to mess with the cigar. Fortunately, I kind of know where I'm going, so I should be able to get us out of here.
Or you could just increase the brightness in your monitor and there you go. You can keep on going.
Yeah, so back in 2004, we all had CRT TVs playing this on the PlayStation 2 with the brightness cranked right up to the maximum. But you get a prize for getting out of this cave, and that prize is the pain. Real fun boss fight.
A lot of fun on HD collection.
It's another fight that's just so precise that I will let these guys explain it to you.
So the thing with the pain here, he's actually considered to be one of the hardest boss in terms of execution. The goal here is that we want very much to use the smoke grenade against him, so we can get rid of the bees that he's gonna end up sending at us, and then we're gonna have to do some headshots. This fight has like 2 phases. So first things, a smoke grenade. And then we're gonna start shooting him on the head. The hitbox is so deceptive. It's not what you actually think. You need to aim at the neck if you want to get a headshot. Throwing a grenade once he armors up with his bees, and then we're gonna keep shooting at him, and that's phase 1. We're not done yet. We're gonna have to do phase 2 as well, and we're gonna repeat the same thing as we did. First things first, we're gonna throw a grenade to get rid of his armors of bees, and then we're gonna keep shooting at his head. The hardest part of this fight is trying to get headshot. It's not that easy, and that was actually a beautiful fight.
Very nice.
Really, really great pain.
In the second phase, there's like a timer counting down, so he's always going to put a shield on after a certain amount of seconds, so you get 1 chance to score enough headshots to not get an extra shield phase, so I'm happy I managed to get that.
Also, the reason that fight is more fun on HD collection is because if you stay in first-person view, the bullet bee attack that he does at the start of phase 2 just will not hit you for some reason. It will hit you every single time on PS2, though.
Yeah, Bluepoint unintentionally made that fight easier because of the first-person view dodging the homing bees. It's actually a glitch caused by the game being at 60 FPS, so Appel, a guy who found a lot of the skips and things for this game, he was testing it in the emulator, and he just put the emulator on 60 FPS, and then the attack didn't work. So it's not Bluepoint's fault. It's not something they would have noticed, I guess.
Yeah, this is a game originally was at 30 FPS. Ooh, nice glitch there. And it was bumped to 60 FPS, and unfortunately 60 FPS did not come without its issues.
I'm just going to swim down this lake here, so briesbe, if you want to jump in, it's no problem.
There is so much love coming in for you right now. It's wonderful to see. I have a $20 donation from Mockingjay that says, "Good luck on your run. You're such an amazing speedrunner, and it's incredible to see you on GDQ. It's very well deserved. P.S. Looking dapper in that tux."
Thank you.
We have $15 from Pikachu fan that says, "Apache is looking good in this suit. So impressed by the community to unlock the tuxedo run."
Yeah, thank you so much. This next room is super important. So this is the first look we get at the end. It's really important that we deal damage to him here because it matters to end the fight quickly later. So when I hit that barrel, it will do some damage to the end. Later, that will become stamina damage. You do have a short time frame to get that in. We don't kill the end early, mostly because it is slower than how fast we actually kill him by starting the fight normally, but it's also lethal to kill him early, and we really want to get the Mosin Nagant, which you get for a non-lethal kill versus the end. We use that against multiple bosses later, so this is why we do the end like this.
Yeah. So while we're here in Warehouse 1, this is a pretty notorious area for MGS3 runners. This Warehouse 1, Warehouse 2 are very difficult. But here is probably the best time to explain why we're using the box so much, why it's so good. So normally when you go up an incline like stairs or just a slope, Snake's movement speed decreases. But if you're wearing the box, it actually doesn't. I guess they forgot to give him an animation for going up slopes while in the box. He actually moves at regular box walking speed, which just so happens to be a lot faster than him walking up an incline. If the incline is particularly long, you'll want to use the box. If it's very short, you'll want to roll up it, because rolling will also be faster than walking.
We love the box. It has so many uses. It's fireproof as well, but we'll get into that later. So we're coming up to the lab. I did mention earlier we do what's called no disguise lab. So this section of the game you can wear a scientist costume and the guards won't notice you. Obviously in the tuxedo run we can't do that. So you'll never see this no disguise lab done in a normal Euro run. It's very, very difficult. There's a lot of buffering and stuff. I'll just go ahead and do it. I'll let these guys kind of explain what's going on as best I can. It's, again, one of the hardest sections of the run. It's one of the things that makes Tuxedo so challenging and so enjoyable for me to play. But a lot can go wrong, so I'll do my best.
So yeah, usually here in regular European Extreme, we use the scientist uniform here, but since we're doing it tuxedo, we cannot do that. So we're gonna have to take down as many guards as possible so we do not get spotted by them. Leaning down here, shooting a guard coming up here. There's also scientists that are gonna be here on the base, and we need to be worried about him as well, as they're gonna be able to spot us as well. So yeah, taking all of these guards so they do not bother us once at all. And the goal here is also we need to make it to Granin room here, and in the meantime we're gonna pick up another weapon coming up soon, which is gonna be the gas sleep. I don't think what it's called. Yeah, and we're gonna wait here for a little bit, shoot this guard. There's gonna be another scientist. We need to move in really fast because if the scientist notices us, he's gonna spot us. We're gonna shoot here to make some noise, and then we're gonna head right to Random room, and there we go. And we're inside. This is actually the first part. We're not done yet, and we're gonna have to do the same thing as exit. Exit is way more harder than entrance, by the way.
Yeah, it's the easy bit.
Yeah, exiting is difficult.
So yeah, box, shoot the scientist, and we're gonna wait a little bit as for the guard to notice him, and then we're gonna have to exit as fast as possible. We're gonna do some buffering here. Oh, this is so close. Shooting the guard, and I think we should be fine. Yes, there we go. This is actually the hardest part of the grand facility here.
Yeah, that exit's a nightmare because if you fail to shoot the scientist quickly, your timing can be really off. There's a guard that you don't really see because I use the static camera so much, but there's a guard that I need to wait to get further in the room, otherwise he'll see me as I try to leave. I'm going to lean around this door, hopefully, really carefully here. I have to wait a little bit there because there's a guard in that little pass who's facing towards me, so I'm just buffering so he faces away. But yeah, no disguise lab. It's a ruthless little part of the run.
Yeah, also keep in mind, we're wearing tuxedo, which give you a really, really bad camo index. It's the worst in the game, so guards can see you from like 10 miles away.
Yeah, I had a really good screenshot on the mountain where the guard can see you coming out of the mountain to like right at the start of it. It's ridiculous.
They simply can't ignore this fancy man, huh?
I'm just equipping the stun grenade here, and I need this already equipped when I start the fear fight. I'm going to do a non-lethal kill on the fear using the rope trap. Because we're in New Game Plus, I could just use the Patriot, which works the same as killing him with the rope trap. But because I want to pick up some Mark 22 ammo during this fight, it's better to do it this way. It gives me a little bit of time to pick that up. It's actually the fastest place to pick it up. This fight can be super awkward. I don't think I'm close enough to the tree here, but I guess I'll find out. So the fears also come from behind me as well. So when he walks forward, I'm going to revive, and I'll need to take a step forward as I throw this stun grenade. Otherwise, I'll like bonk with the fear. This should be okay. So I want this ammo here, and the fear will die to the rope trap. He's got no iframes while he's stunned on the ground.
Nice, beautiful. For some reason, the fear, if you stun him, the fear takes like non-lethal damage. Although it's the fact that he should take lethal damage, but it's a weird bug actually.
Okay, it's everyone's enemy. The next room is called Warehouse 2 or Warehouse Return. Incredibly precise room. We have to manipulate a guard with the box, land on top of another guard, box headshot a third guard. It's extremely complicated. It's one of the toughest rooms in the run for sure.
Yeah, this is quite a big hurdle for people learning this run. The way that this box headshot that you're about to see works. Oh, so
That
close.
was a little bit too early.
I was two against the box as I came out, so I didn't give the auto aim enough chance to click on. This room is no joke. It's so difficult, and I was getting it so much in practice that I was like, yep. Every time you get this room, it's just a failure in this room is waiting around the corner. That's the box headshot there, and you have to roll as well, otherwise the second guard will see you because the camo index is so low, and I want that door to shut. So there's like 4 sections in that room where it can go wrong. But we're through on Warehouse 2. So this next section is the end. It's not the end of the run. It's a boss called the end. There's also a boss called the boss, but that's not this boss. That boss is at the end. I've been dying to say that, GDQ.
So the reason why the box shot hit shot actually works is that if you unequip the box and shoot immediately, Snake is going to shoot a little bit too higher. This allows you to get headshot, and it's actually kind of useful in a lot of like situations in the game.
Yeah, the other requirement for it to work is that similar to the quick headshot technique, you also have to be on the same plane as them or an even surface. Otherwise, you'll either be too high or too low, and you won't hit them in the head.
I use that technique again where I hold a grenade just to silence my footsteps, otherwise that guard will turn and face me as I try and get past him. I also shot the wall to make him run across as I was passing him.
Smoking that guard for safety, because sometimes he can actually listen to your stomach growling, because if that actually happens. So coming up to the actually one of the most Monka-esque boss fights in the game, the end. So what Apache is going to do here, on the previous fight, we did not remove the arrow on the knee. This will allow us to shoot the end, make hit shots at the end way easier. He's going to do 3 shots. All right, and now we're going to head to the right side, and then we're going to have to wait for at least 20 seconds. Or we can do this by buffering like punch, punch, kick. We're going to have to do the 6th to 7th time. This will allow the pain to teleport all the way to the left. Throwing a smoke grenade, and then we're going to make some noise. Shooting 3 times, and then the end is going to be all the way to the left side. And we're going to throw a stun grenade to stun him. Nice, approaching him. And then we're going to start damaging him. We're going to do 2 punches, smoke, punch, punch again. Then we're going to freeze him with a gun. He's going to notice the gun. He's going to go on his stomach, and then we're going to have to smoke him again. And then we're going to use another stun. Look up so we do not get blinded. Smoke him again, use a smoke grenade. It's really important to hit him with the grenade itself. We need to keep him on stun, otherwise he's going to run away. We're going to wait for Snake to cuff a little bit, twice. And then we're going to have to smoke him. Hit to the next to the tree, right here. And then we're going to have to wait a little bit, smoke him, punch, punch, and then smoke him again. Oh, he survived with 1 sliver of health, but that's fine. And that's it. That was actually a beautiful fight. So yeah, sometimes that's actually happened to the end. I guess it has something to do with the fact that the game runs at 60 FPS, despite the fact that he has 0 health, but he still survived. But that is completely fine. Apache is professional. All you have to do is just follow him, smoke him again, and that's the fight.
Yeah, so
also, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. There's another boss fight coming up soon.
Yeah, there's a huge boss fight. It's not the hardest boss fight in Metal Gear, but it is the tallest. Something I like to do in my streams is just let it play. I just want to let this one play for you, chat, so I'm not going to say a word. Minnie's not going to say a word. Jack's not going to say a word. Briesbe's not going to say a word. We're just going to enjoy this one. This one's for you, Twitch chat. Thank you for raising all this money. very much for that, guys. I must have climbed that ladder like 1,000 times, and it never gets old for me. I think it's my favorite soundtrack in all of Metal Gear.
Indeed.
We're back at it. Mountains 1. So we have 3 mountain sections now. All of them are just pretty tough anyway in a normal run.
Progressively harder.
Yeah, with this lowered camo, we have to do a ton of like free aim shooting. The catch is if we miss any of these shots, like if we accidentally hit the body, that's fine, but if we hit a wall, we're seen. So if I accidentally shoot the wall behind any of those guards, they will go on their radio and they'll make a backup team come from the section we're trying to get to. I am on a timer, so that guard that I'm heading towards now, he can't get all the way to the end of his cycle because he'll turn around and face me. I'm going to trank roll him. You're really relying on the auto aim to do the legwork there, and the auto aim in MGS3 can be very, very finicky. It can cause you problems. That's the easier of the mountain rooms done. I'm going to do some more free aim in here, but I'm going to do a quick headshot on this guard. And then snipe this guard from really far away, hopefully. If I can get him. Hopefully he goes to sleep before we get to the next section.
Those 2 body shots, you should be fine.
Yeah. So he won't actually see us until I get a little bit further up this mountain. Is he asleep? Yeah, he's asleep. We are on a timer for the guards right at the top of the mountain. It's difficult to get those sniper Mark 22 shots in. This is such a long room as well. It's an awful one to take a continue on because it'll just put us right back to the start. Here, before we get to this guard, we want to take our box off with a little bit of time. The guards hear you sooner in the box. So if you're just walking behind a guard, or if you're in the box, they'll hear you sooner in the box. And I need to get up to this before this guard sees me. I can do a little bit of a backup here and shoot this guard because I can't go too far to the left. There we go. And now we can see the power of Snake's hitbox. It's really, really big.
And now, Mountain 3.
Yeah. His roll hitbox is quite large.
The hardest area in the game.
Yeah, Mountain 3 in the Tuxedo. We have to take a completely different line than a normal route. First I need to make this guard look at the wall as I roll over the top of him. Get to the end of this line and then lean around the corner so that guard can't see me. Cigar gas spray. Bump into this guard. We have to equip the box there to give us enough time to get up to that guard. And just bump into him. We're going to shoot this barrel and not kill this guard as far as the game's concerned. And that'll put the last one on his radio. And we can just lean over and finish that guy off. Hey presto, the mountain sections.
That was really beautiful. This is actually one of the
very
hardest areas in the game, and all because you're in a timer, and you need to catch up to that timer. Otherwise, everything is gonna go out of order, and you're gonna end up getting spotted quite easily.
Yeah, the movement's super precise. You don't really get time to... If you accidentally push up against a wall, usually that means you're going to get caught, 'cause you don't really have any time to lose movement like that. We're going to make our way back down the mountain. I know people probably will have mentioned that I've played the game mostly in the static camera, but I don't only use it. I use the 3D camera for this section as well. So this camera was put into subsistence first and then made its way to the HD collection. Allows you to sort of rotate the camera around Snake. I prefer to not use it, aside from where rooms where the camera angle is really awkward. So there we go. We're done with the 3D camera now. This next boss is the hardest boss in the game by miles.
Yes.
The Fury. He's the only boss with like real RNG. Every time we knock him down, he can do a number of things. His initial spawn position is random, and he kills you very, very quickly. I said before that the box is fireproof. If he hits us with the flamethrower, we always try and equip the box before we get hit because we won't catch fire. Fire is like the highest damage in the whole game. It will kill us so quickly. Like my health now, it will take that down. So I'm just gonna do my best here. This boss is really, really rough.
We're gonna pay attention to which side he lands on. Normally use an audio cue for this since we got right side. Oh no, oh, turn around. Oh no.
He spawned on me.
Oh my god.
Let's try and
That is
salvage it.
actually a bad RNG, yeah.
Worst
Spawning
possible.
right in the
We
middle.
can definitely recover from here though. We'll see where he lands. Oh, there he goes.
See that fire there? I can't stand in that fire. I want him to notice me, but I can't stand in this fire. I need him to do that. So see how laggy the game goes when you stand in fire like that? It's really not good. Damn it.
Oh,
Damn it.
man.
I was too... so on European Extreme, the Fury reacts fastest to you. From when he sees you to when he shoots, he reacts fastest, so... Where is he landing? Like...
Wow, really?
I just can't hear him, like...
He's actually landing at the worst spots.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite rare for him to land there.
There we go.
All right, now he's on the left side, which is good. So what makes this fight so hard is actually the fire on the floor, which can actually damage you, and the fact that him being random.
Okay, he's taking off. We can get some shots on here.
Nice.
I've
that was
never,
actually
ever,
really good.
I have never...
That was strange.
I must have done this hundreds of times, and I've never seen that particular pattern on the Fury, so... We made some errors there, guys, but we're through the Fury. For anyone who picks up this run, generally when you fight this guy, because of all the different variables and randomness that can happen, when you go hunting for PBs, you're just hoping for that like magic pattern where he falls kind of like to the southeast, and then you just loop him. Sometimes it doesn't go that way. That was a very freeform little fight.
Yeah, it's actually one of the most random bosses in the game. And what makes him hard is the fact he is so random. There's a lot of things that could go wrong against him. So now we made it to Groznygrad. And we have an objective to do here. And by the way, one thing about this game is that apparently enemies cannot react really well to the boxes. And I guess this is the reason how the Soviet Union collapsed. They're not reacting really well to a box running in its leg. So right now, here inside, we need to go in and throw a smoke grenade. We're gonna make some noise by shooting a guard here. This will make Rykov, which is a general here, or a major, spawn in right here. He's gonna bump into him. Apache's gonna bump into him, smoke him, and then we're gonna grab him and take him to the locker room, and that's it. So, and here we're gonna have to change clothes for the first time from tuxedo, because the next part you need to have Rykov's uniform on to go to the next part.
Yeah, of course. For tuxedo, we would have it in, we wear it for every room possible. If you don't take the tuxedo off here, the game won't progress. I just really wanted to say, like, one of my favorite things about running Metal Gear Solid 3 is that you kind of just play the game the way it's intended. There's no, like, ridiculous glitches. Like, I can't just go up against a wall, equip the scope, and then the box, and then zoom along the wall really fast. Like, that would be crazy, right? But I really do need to get changed out of this now. If you're wondering how that glitch is done, I've pinned it on my my Twitter, ApacheSmash. It's just like the first post on there. There's like an explanation of how that glitch works.
Pell discovered that one.
Yeah, Pell discovered it very recently too, like just not long ago at all. Like none of the other MGS3 runs at GDQ had this. So if you want to mute this section, like it's just we're going to be tortured. It's an unskippable cutscene. If we have no sound for that, it's fine. Briesbe, if you want to read some donations, that would be much better than what's going on in the game.
Yeah, I would love to. I have $250 from Zero Kieran that says, to everyone watching live and via past broadcast, you are about to experience a one-of-a-kind run by my good friend ApacheSmash, looking very sharp in that suit. I'm so happy I get to support a wonderful cause such as MSF. Wishing Apache an awesome run and GDQ a very successful event. Let's go. Thank you to everyone involved in making this event possible.
Thanks so much, Kieran. What homie. Yeah, we're stuck here, Briesbe, so you can just go for it, mate.
Okay, I have just another locker poster. They asked for my best Solid Snake impersonation, so here we go. Huh? What? A high D. Metal Gear. Boss. Donations. Good causes. Always my pleasure to donate for a great cause during an amazing event that I look forward to every year. And I will embarrass myself for charity. If anyone would like me to do that, go for it.
Yeah, that was absolutely spot on.
Oh, thank you. I've been practicing. I also have $15 from Shelly that says, "That's our boy, Apache. We are all on the coffee, staying alive to support you. Good luck, Patch."
Yeah, shout out Northeast homies. Appreciate you all. Chelsea, thank you.
We still have time?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
One more.
$50 from Glenn that says, "Hey, Apache, looking dapper in that tux. Great to see you on the big stage. I just know you're going to put on an entertaining run. Good luck and have fun."
Thanks so much, Glenn. Yeah, so we're just stuck here in the torch section. We're blindfolded for this section. You can actually hold the menus here to prevent your health from going down, but we don't need to do that for the speed run. That's just a way of getting your life bars used at the end of the game to 0. So I have done like perfect stats runs in the past where we do everything to get as many zeros as possible on the end screen. But we're nearly out of it now. There we go. Alright, so we're put into a prison cell. We need to escape. No more tuxedo. All of our equipment is gone, so we have to use just the basics to get out of here. What I'm going to do is pick up a revolver. I'm not going to pick up a revolver. I've been the house test once said something and it's put me off. But yeah, if we pick up a fork, remove some stuff, and then we're going to spin Snake around until we throw up. Because if you spin around in real life too much, you will throw up as well. But this is a tactical one. I also kicked a rat because we need it as like a throwable item. And I did the thing I always do where I forget to count. You have to spin him 10 times, but I'm just going to do some more just to be sure. Good, that was enough. I'm going to put my revolver on previous. When Johnny enters the cell, I'm just going to punch him twice and then hit him 3 times with the revolver, and that will knock him out. We can now loot him. He will give us some smoke grenades. And then we can get on out of here. This next trick is frame perfect, so it's really, really difficult. Hoping to nail this one first time.
Yeah, you have to throw that rat right there, and that will, when the item like becomes, I guess you can interact with it, it makes a sound, and that will cause the guards to go investigate it. And then we're going to use, again, it's not specific to grenades. Any throwable weapon, if you hold it, will silence your footsteps on certain surfaces. And it just so happens that it will silence your footsteps right there, and we can just walk by that guy and you won't hear us.
Now we're coming to one of the most notorious areas in the game. A lot of Foxhound ranks has been lost to this, and is the smoke grenade room. We're gonna have to throw a smoke grenade at a specific angle, and hopefully we're not gonna get spotted by 2 of the guards right here. It's kind of inconsistent. We still do not know what's causing it. Also, we're gonna have to cook a grenade to silence our footsteps. Or we don't, anyway. Throw another smoke grenade to that doggo. And there we go. Although this looks simple, but I mean, sometimes you get unlucky and you get spotted.
Every single person who runs this game has a different set of things that they do in that room. And I've done it hundreds of times, so I'm still not sure how it works. I just kind of throw the smoke grenades and hope for the best, but we're out. Quick
Trust
PSA
me, nobody knows.
A quick PSA for any people who speedrun the Japanese or play on the Japanese version of the game. If you mash triangle there, it will soft lock your game. So just to be aware of, don't mash triangle when you drop down, when Snake's climbing down that ladder and it plays the codec. I don't know why it happens, but it sort of just locks up your entire system.
Also, you notice that we're equipping the cigar here, and the reason for that is because after all that torture, Snake needs a cigar. Actually,
yeah, time for a quick smoke, but yeah, we want to lower our health as much as possible for the Sorrow fight, because once we get into that fight, we're just going to kill ourselves as quickly as possible. It's a dream sequence. We use the fake death pill to revive from it, so the faster we can die, the faster we can get out. Recently in the community, we found that the time during the Sorrow doesn't actually count towards the in-game time, which was what we use to time our speedruns. So whoever has the fastest time on the score screen has, you know, the best time. We couldn't find what was causing inconsistencies between runs until someone noticed that, yeah, the IGT resets once you leave the Sorrow. So technically, if you're going for the fastest time, you could walk all the way to the end and retrieve the Spirit camo and still get the best time. That was really recent. That was found. Something you may not be aware of as well.
If you are going for RTA,
yeah, we still.
There's a lot of different ways to do this to be fast in real time. If you do a strategy on Mountains 2 to grab the rocket launcher, that is the fastest way to do it. But since we don't have that with us, we're just going to throw a grenade.
And we're out of there. Don't press continue there, it will count the time, and it does count as a death as well. Which I have done. I'm sure many of us have done that as well. And here is the most beautiful section and most underused section of the whole run. Because we took the Ocelot's tracker out before, we don't have an Ocelot unit here to contend with. And this is a good time for donations as well, briesbe, if you've got some more.
I have $50 from Solid Snake's Tuxedo that says, well, I was going to throw in some money to make sure I got to work tonight, but someone beat me to the punch. So let's put this towards the next bonus game, Hitman 3 instead.
Definitely.
I also have $50 from Eric that says, Snake is looking snazzy. Let's get another stylish run going. Put this towards the Hitman 3 incentive. And we are actually making really good time on that Hitman incentive. We could always use more donations. We're currently at a little over $8,000.
Well, amazing job, everyone. It's been awesome. Like, I've been watching pretty much the entire event. It's incredible. I'm still not over how much was raised for this incentive. But we have our stuff back now. Eva's retrieved our stuff for us. Before we put the tuxedo on, it's just a minor optimization. We're gonna wait till we get to the end of this room. So for the rules of the category, tuxedo is an actual extension category. We have a board for any extension categories for Metal Gear. The rules of the run say that you have to wear the tuxedo in every room possible. It doesn't specify where you put it on, so we can just save a menu by walking to the end here and then putting it on and retrieving our really important item, box 2, which is slightly more important than box 1. So I'll put this on and then I'll do the biggest menu in the whole game, if I can remember it.
Yeah, so this menu is setting up from now until the end of the game, although we will have to do one more menu once we get into the start of the section that is called Bike Chase. We'll just have to equip the RPG right when that starts, because that automatically gets put into your inventory if you don't grab it on Mountains 2.
Okay, so I'm going to manipulate this guard with a box here. Get to the end of this tank, wait for him to pass, then shoot this guard. And when I re-equip the box, that first guard won't see me because he'll begin to look at where that other guard's looking. Despite him looking directly at me, he still won't see me. And the second guard won't see me in the box because he's tunnel visioned on the down guard. Incredible use of the box there. Really useful. Be much slower to get through that section otherwise.
Yeah, the guards in this game have a priority list of what they react to when they see it, and helping out a fellow downed soldier is much higher than the cardboard box with legs going by them.
And this is the easiest room in the game. So we've had all the hard rooms. This is genuinely the easiest room in the whole run. And saying that, I'm probably going to get caught on it now. But this room is genuinely harder on very easy than it is on European Extreme. Because when we shoot the wall and cause that caution, all the guards, because they can all hear that shot, because they're hearing so good on Euro, they'll all just run off, which clears our path to plant all these C3 bombs. On very easy, if you do that, the guards don't hear the shot, so it doesn't work, so you have extra guards to take out. But that's the only example I can find where it's easier on a low difficulty.
Harder.
Once we plant this last bomb, we're going to fight Volgin 1. Volgin 1 is harder in Tuxedo because we can't use CQC. So we kind of have to manipulate what attacks he does. And he can kill us in like one hit, so it's a tough old fight. I think it's just made a much harder fight in Tuxedo because you can't use CQC.
Yeah, normally the way this fight starts off is that you walk up to Volgan and you do like a CQC grab and then throw him on the ground, but obviously we can't do that here, so we have to wait for him to whiff an attack and then we start shooting in the back. And when he does this attack, we can go right behind him and just get some more free shots on him.
Nice.
Very nice.
Beautiful, nice. First phase is hard, but the second phase is quite easy. All you have to do is just roll, stand down there, crouch, and then keep shooting at him.
So this is the really loud section of the run, so you may want to turn it down. It's the game just turns it up to 11 here for no reason. It's the bike chase section, the auto scroller. We're going to go for non-lethal throughout. A couple of things in Tuxedo is because our camo index is lower, the guards can hit us more often. So obviously we take more damage. It's more risky. I like to no-scope the guards with the Mosin as much as possible, so I'll be going for that. If you see me looking down, it's because I want to keep the frame rate as high as possible.
Minimize lag.
Yeah.
So yeah, we use here a combination of stun grenade and the Mosin Nagant by taking down the guards. Also at the same time, we're going to deal some damage to Shagahad. Yes, Metal Gear is active, so we're going to deal some damage using the RPG, and this is going to help us against the fight later on him. He's going to start the fight with lower health, allowing us to make this fight much more faster.
Yeah, you can deal at max a third of the Shagahad's health. So it won't let you get any lower than that. But on European Extreme, it's a lot harder to... He takes less damage per RPG, so you have to hit him a whole bunch of times.
And the goal with shooting the RPG at the Shagahad is to get it down to the damage cap. You can't actually defeat it during the bike chase, but you can get its health really low. I think it's about 1/4 you can take off, if I'm not mistaken. But we're going to try and do as much damage as we can. The damage cap is the exact same on all difficulties, it's just that it has higher defense on the higher difficulties. So you get to... It takes longer to reach the damage cap on European Extreme, but it's still possible.
And what I'm doing here is just turning my gun on and off, which fills the clip. It's called a tactical reload. The game actually tells you about it, so it's an intended mechanic, but it does kind of trivialize the Shagahad fight later because you can get so many hits out. As that Shagahad gets too close there, you don't want to be firing RPGs, otherwise it'll hit Eva, it'll hit us, which is bad, and also it will just grind the game to a halt. So we do all sorts to keep the frame rate as high as possible in these sections. Right at the start here, there's an RPG guard who can sometimes hit you. It's like there's 4 RPG guards in this room. One of them is like guaranteed to hit you, and the others are small chances, basically. We want to take them all out. As I say, RPGs are super damaging, and they like the game. Oh, they're still up. That's not good.
Yeah, the RPG guards can deal up to like 60% damage to you. And since we're doing a bike chase, sometimes you're going to take some small damages here and there from the guards, as they're going to have higher accuracy. So it's really important to take down the guards when you exit this area, otherwise you're going to hit really, really hard. And since we have our health is really low on European Extreme, we might end up being dead.
Yeah, if you don't take those guards out fast enough there, Eva will just wait on the bike, and you get like extra guards spawning in because of that. He's not down, that's not good. Oh wow, got him.
Wow.
I'm gonna take so much damage from these guards, but it was worth. Alright, let's try and get the last one. So this one here will always hit you, and we got him.
Yeah, that final guard is you need to take him down. If you do not, all of your health is gone. And if you do not have a life med, you're gonna be dead as well.
Here
So
the
right here
game
at the
will...
start of Bike Chase, our goal is to take out the passengers because they're the ones who have a free hand. They can actually shoot at us. If you take out just the passenger, not the driver will occasionally try and take shots, but he's also trying to focus on driving, so he won't be as accurate. We don't have to worry about him.
These on the runway aren't too bad, but there's some really ruthless guards later in the run. Briesbe, we're good for more donations here.
Alrighty. $25.55 from King Moose says, Snake? Snake? Looking good, Snake.
Thanks for that.
I also have Aviv donating $5 that says, it's just a box, but so well dressed. Loving the run so far. Thank you so much for running one of my favorite MGS games. You look great in that tux, Apache. Best of luck.
Thank you. And we got a number auto scroll section here as well. We're just going to try and deal as much damage to the Shadowhawk as we can while he shouts at us. Every single time we hit him with an RPG, he's going to shout at us some more, so it's always fun. Here, the Shadowhawk's going to run over these bikes, so they don't actually fire at you here. They just meet an unfortunate end at the Shadowhawk's treads. If you shoot those guards with a non-lethal weapon and the Shadowhawk runs them over, sometimes the game will count them as a kill. So it's kind of funny that all the things in the game that it doesn't count as a kill, but it sometimes will count those guards. So just don't shoot them ever. It's a really unfortunate and sad way to lose your Foxhound run when you get to the end and it says 1 guard killed.
Yeah, and one thing that's really strange is that, the other reason why we don't want to start shooting so early is because if we do, the Shadowhawk's hitbox is small when it's further away, but the rocket launcher, like, splash explosion is still the same size, so you're almost guaranteed to hit the treads and force it to go back, and then you're not doing damage because it's too far away.
It may look like I'm doing absolutely nothing to it here, but every single little bit of damage is so important.
It does help a lot.
Okay, so we got a decent amount of damage, and that will carry over into the Shadowhawk fight. So we'll actually fight the boss one more time. First, we gotta get rid of these C3s on the bridge. The gun always aims down the center, so all the snipers and stuff, they just aim directly down the center. So if you leave your aim on it like that, you can just sit out of the view and wait for the Shadowhawk to reach the middle point of the bridge. As soon as you see it poking out from that M, you can fire. I hope. Was that early?
No, you got
I'm just messing
No,
with
you
you.
got it.
I'm just messing with you.
I was like, uh-oh. So, Shadowhawk, we're gonna have to shoot the treads. Shadowhawk is gonna stop, and then we're gonna wait for Eva to turn around and shoot the back of the Shadowhawk and deal damage to it. And we're gonna have to wait for a little bit because it has some iframes, and we're gonna have to time the next shot immediately after that. Shooting the treads and shooting the back of the Shadowhawk is what you really need to do here. The key here, you need to do them, you need to tie them correctly. So far, so good.
I think you can still recover this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, you're fine. Kind of an awkward angle, though, but it should be good.
No, it's not giving it me the second time. That's okay.
He's at low health, though, so it should be fine.
Yeah, so I was trying to keep the back of the Shadowhawk for as long as possible there, just so I could keep damaging it as soon as the iframes come off and then hitting the tread again. I did lose it a little bit towards the end. It's very, very inconsistent loop, but that was a decent speed. I'm really not going to complain at that. Is it cool if I go for a no-scope on Volgin on top of the Shadowhawk?
Go for it.
Cool. So here we're just going to headshot him, hit the tread again, and we're just trying to cycle, like, hitting the tread, hitting him in the head. And one more. I need to wait for that iframes to go. Did I time it right? I think I did. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I'm sorry, GDQ. I was enjoying myself. This fight can get really out of hand. You should never ever let the fight get to this stage. Yes, got him.
Nice.
Nice.
Was it worth dying for? We were about to find out. And we're in the final bike chase section. Briesbe, feel free to shoot us some more donations.
Awesome. I have $10 from Holtzritter that says, "Oh yeah, Tuck Snake. Great to see the chat did this. Let's smash all those bonus goals." I have $25 from Jones here that says, 15 years ago, I watched my very first speed run with my best friend, an MGS3 run on Speed Demo Archives. Had to donate to show my hype for a sharp-dressed snake, so I can see how fast this run has come in style.
That SDA run that they're talking about, I assume will be Hikari's, and Hikari is still the living legend. He's been running since the SDA days, and he's still going now, and he's still so good at the game and coming up with new stuff. He is a real inspiration to me, along with Jaguar King, obviously the first runner I ever watched, Jag, so it's really cool to be here at GDQ with you on comms.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
If I still have time, I have a couple more.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
please.
Go ahead.
I just
This session is so long.
Cool. All right. I have $47 from Karen that says, "This Tuesday evening is the pinnacle of SGDQ for me. GTA 3, MGS3, RE7, and Dead Space. Here's $47 to get Hitman 3 added for tomorrow. Let's get the first $47 train going. Good luck on the rest of the run, Snazzy Apache."
Thanks so much, Karen.
And I'm not sure if we've ever had a $47 train, but I'm good for it.
I like how it sounds.
It does. It kind of rolls off the tongue. I also have $15 from Creethian Omega that says, I missed this James Bond film. Wait, I don't remember him with an eye patch and a mullet and Metal Gear. Putting this donation to another sneaky, well, possibly sneaky game. Maybe. Hitman 3 sounds so fun to watch, so I'd like to make that happen."
All right, welcome to the most unforgiving part of the whole run. So you can get a Foxhound run up to this point, and then the game can just take it away from you through pure RNG. Because our camo index is so low, as we said before, the guards hit you easier. The middle platform guard can get parked above you, as he's trying to right now. If he gets completely above you, you can't actually shoot him anymore because you can't put your aim up to hit him. And also the platform guards, when you trank them and knock them down, they can land on you and you can catch fire. So if I do catch fire, I'm allowed to change camo, but I'm not allowed to leave the pause screen. So if you go into the pause menu and change camo while you're on fire and then change it back, when you come out, the fire will be gone. It's the only way to kind of diffuse it while you're in this auto-scroller section. So I always shoot well and don't really run into problems when I've already lost Foxhound, but when I went for the original Foxhound run in Tuxedo, I'm the only person to do it in single segment so far that's been recorded, and I hope to see some more in the future, but this is the part that catches you out because the game can just say no and force you to use a life med either by setting you on fire or just shooting you so much during this section. No matter how well you shoot, this part of the game can just get out of hand. It's RNG. And feel free to give us some more donations through the final auto-scroller section.
Cool. I have an anonymous $250 donation. There was no comment, but thank you so much for your donation. I also have Ocelot donating $125.
What I'm doing in Tuxedo, just because the camo index is so low and we get shot so much, rather than just shooting the gunners off, I'll get rid of them all and just keep going. Like new ones spawning in is
It gives you something to do.
yeah, it's because you take quite a lot of damage, so like even the drivers will still hit you quite a lot in comparison. Yeah, no worry. Yeah, go for it. All the way to the end of the auto-scroll section, it's fine.
I have $125 from Ocelot that says, "You're pretty good." I don't know the inflection on that one, but I tried my best.
No, that was decent. I think that was a 10.
Paulister donates $15 and says, I gotta watch my boy Apache's run. Good luck, my dude. Thank you for GDQ as well for all that you do.
Thanks, Paulister, mate.
$50 from Crude Bomber that says, glad to watch Apache Smash, my favorite Metal Gear Solid game, and looking smashing while doing it. Here's to Doctors Without Borders. They're pretty good.
And we're coming up to the end here. It's just a little jump section. And we'll get out of this auto-scroller. Shouldn't be looking at the bikes this much, really. They do cause a whole lot of lag.
It's really recommended that during downtime to look down or up, otherwise you're gonna hit tons of lag, and that actually can affect later on.
Right, we just got a couple of rooms with Eva now, and then the final boss, the boss. Before we're done with the tuxedo run. Here we have to cure Eva before it'll let us leave this menu. This is a good moment to feed her as well. If you have to feed Eva at some point during this section, no matter how fast you do it. Once she gets to 1/4 stamina, she'll begin complaining and she'll stay still, which obviously we don't want. So if you feed her there, saves about 9 seconds just because the pause menu is so slow to get in and out of. She doesn't take any damage from Snake here either, for some reason. She will in the next room, but not there. And you also don't have to walk her. You can just leave, and then she'll teleport forward. Unfortunately, that doesn't work in the next room.
Yeah, this next room is the easiest out of all the ones in the Eva escort. All you have to do is just motion for her once, and then as long as you just keep moving forward towards the end of this area, then you don't actually have to worry about the guards. They will never catch up and see you. This is the calm before the storm for the harder section of this area.
Yeah, this next room's hell. In Tuxedo, this next room's so hard.
It's really hard, yeah.
So because our camo index is so bad, in this next room there's a guard walking towards us. We can't take a single step forwards, otherwise we'll get seen. So we just kind of like have to stand still and wait for this guard. We're waiting for one guard in front of us to walk towards us, and we're waiting for one guard in the north to turn around and walk away. But it's always scary. I have lost Foxhound runs here as well, which is always nice, the very last room of guards. I was once doing a marathon run as well of this game, and my friend Plywood said to me, you haven't been seen yet, as I got to this last room of guards, which sent my blood pressure through the roof. I'll always call him out for that one. Alright, so equip my gun, get on my tiptoes, and I'm just going to wait and stare really close to my screen. I'm just waiting for this guard here. And then a trick Major taught me, shoot the guard in the back, makes him turn around, he's easier to hit in the head. Call Eva, and now I need to take out this guard and get behind those tree on these next two guards, and I have a small amount of time to do it. For some reason, when these guards turn around here, they can't see you through this gap in the tree. I didn't mean to shoot him in the head, but I'll take it. So through that gap in the tree, the guards can't actually see me. There's a few like it. There was that tank earlier that we were looking over, but the guards can't see us. So the trees are treated like huge blocks, basically, to the guards. There's no gap in it for them. Eva can go a bit messy here, so I'm really careful with her. There's also a glitch in the game. We don't know what causes it, but when you drop off this ledge, Eva can just walk straight back to the start of the level, and there's no prevention for it. There's nothing we can do. If she does it, I just kind of have to deal with it. It's about a 2.5 minute time loss if she does it.
It's a rough glitch. Yeah.
Yeah, we have no idea what causes it, and we've seen it like 3 times, and we all live in fear of it as runners. Like, you know, you never know when
imagine
it's
you're on a
gonna be
Foxhound
day.
rank on a really big PB, and you were so close to the final area in the game. Then Eva decided, you know what, I'm gonna go to the back and waste 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, there's another speedrunner called Major Zero who had it happen to him twice in a row. So he got her all the way to the end. She walked back to the start of the level. He brought her back here, and then she just walked back to the start of the level again. So fortunately, she didn't do it today, but it's just kind of funny that exists. But here's the final boss. We don't have CQC, so we have to do some extra strategies. It makes the fight much harder because you have more cycles with her, and much more risky because the boss can kill you so quickly.
You can still counter her CQC, thankfully, though. Yeah, we're throwing that stun grenade at her to make sure that she stays on the ground, doesn't actually get up. Because otherwise then she will get up and start running around again.
Yeah, the idea that you really need to keep her on stun. There's this like invincible stun meter, and it's really important to keep her on that, to keep her stun meter high enough so you can like keep on shooting at her.
You have to be so patient with your circle press. If you press it too early, it locks you out, and then she will just beat you up. Boss does like 2/3 of your health in one hit. So now I'm going to hide from her. If none of her Patriot shots hit me, she'll only do a short burst and then run. If any of her bullets hit you, she'll stay there for longer and just keep firing at you. So it's good. Done. So there is a
job.
Just before we call time, there is an unskippable cutscene here. So I'm just gonna, say thank you so much for GDQ for having me here. Thank you for everyone who donated for that crazy donation incentive for the Tuxedo run, $20,000. Everyone who's been donating to other great runs as well. I'm ApacheSmash. I stream on Twitch. I post a lot on Twitter. You can follow me there. I mostly play Metal Gear Solid. I'm from a great community of speedrunners, metalgearspeedrunners.com. You can join the Discord if you'd like to learn any of these games. And these guys as well, miniomegaking and King, really great guys. Please follow them as well.
And thank you for having me.
Yeah, me too as well.
Yeah, it's emotional for me, Jag. As I say, I watched you speedrun this game. I didn't know you, I had no idea who you were. I just watched you play this game and it was incredible, and I wanted to be able to do it as well. So thank you for inspiring me to pick this game up.
No problem, my friend. No problem. Also, if you want to be a Metal Gear speedrunner, you can as well. Anyone can be. You can even beat us and be the world record holder. Anyone can be. Just hop in, join us at metalgearspeedrunners.com, and we will take good of you and teach you any Metal Gear game you want, from 2D to 3D to even Nokia mobile Metal Gear game. You are pretty much welcome to our community.
Time's coming up when I fire the final shot of the revolver here, so I'll call it out. That's time.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ApacheSmash, for that awesome run of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. That was very, very cool. And I have just a couple of donations to finish out these Metal Gear vibes. I've got $50 from Papa Burgundy that says, always happy to see one of my favorite series at GDQ, especially when it's the game with the best soundtrack. Runner and commentators are doing such a fantastic job. Shout out to briesbe. Time to embarrass you again by putting our practice to the test. Here we go. Nanomachines, a Hind D, Gray Fox, the Lolly Lelu Low. Okay, that was the best I could do. Thank you for your $50. And I have $25 from Chaotic Echo that says, what a thrill Snake Eater is, and what a chill horror block coming up next will be. And we do have a spooky vibe that we're going to be running right into with Resident Evil 7. But first, we are headed into a break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2021 Online, powered by Twitch. SGDQ is brought to you by Boomerang X. Armed with a magical boomerang, slice, fly, and dive through flocks of evil creatures in this acrobatic arena shooter. Obliterate wave after wave and journey ever downwards into the shadows. Boomerang X is coming to PC and Switch this week. Visit boomerang-x.com for more on the next great arena shooter. All right, and we are headed right into the daily recap. Here we go.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, this is Summer Games Done Quick Online 2021. I am Kung Fu Fruit Cup. I am joined by Feasel and Keyzeron. What's
Fees
up,
and Keys
Feasel?
show. Hey, can't stop us
right.
now, Hobbs.
Yes,
Suck
we're
it.
doing-
Ah,
We are doing another. Yeah, almost. I'm sorry that I'm here too. I should probably just leave.
yeah,
Keys
you're
It's the
technically
next
hosting
big
this,
thing.
but you're our
Yeah.
guest.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Oh, thanks for having me on. I really
Yeah. No
appreciate it.
problem. Take over the show, please.
Being a part of this daily recap. Oh my gosh, this is so great. So we got some great feedback from top 10 clips yesterday, and we wanted to do that again for you all because there's so many awesome runs happening this week, and we wanted to feature as many as we can to show you anything that maybe you caught and loved, maybe you missed, and you need to go back and see. So we are gonna get straight away into it. Number 10, Keys.
Yeah. So I don't even really need to say much. It's TMR. It's Battletoads, and he has a blindfold on.
Yeah.
I can't play this game with eyes. I made that joke in a pre-show before, but I can't play this game with eyes. And TMR, yeah. What are we supposed to say about that?
This is very
He's just-
impressive.
TMR is impressive. He's a god.
It's probably easy for him this way. It's just easier than doing it the regular way, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
Imagine
absolutely.
it's
It's gonna psych you
significantly
out.
worse when you see it because it's like,
Right,
oh, there's
yeah.
too many senses going on. I don't know what to do.
Yes, I mean, it's just a great example of our first blindfolded run of the marathon, and it's not the only one we get to see this week, which is great. All right, Feasel, what you got?
All right. My clip number 9, I guess, is Blast Core. So this is Needle, who's doing a out of bounds clip right there, which launches you up in the air. And when you're in the air, you wreck buildings like nobody's business. So you just do so much damage to these buildings when you're flying in the air. And in a second, we're going to do it again. And yeah, so this is a trick that Needle was really, thought was really important. And I kind of agree because it is kind of one of the coolest looking things. So launch that thing and kapow.
They're gone. That's wild.
Yeah, that's great stuff.
I love how he did like the gentle like love taps to some of the
Mhm.
buildings too.
Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Definitely go back and catch all of that. All right, okay, I have one. Now, this is
Okay.
a fantastic game we caught kind of late last night. It's the perfect late night, totally not a horror game. Okay, it's maybe a horror
Mhm.
game. This is Gone Golfing, and I wouldn't say there's like a ton of highly impressive movement here, but what he's doing is evading definitely not being chased by a big fish person who wants to do a murder. And this is some of my favorite commentary of the week so far. As it was golfing, they were definitely treating it as a golf game. So all
That's true.
commentary totally fit with
He was
the
definitely
feel of-
hitting the ball in a golf-like manner.
Exactly. It was really lovely to watch. All right,
Well,
Keys, let's go back.
If
to
you want to talk about more lovely stuff, we have Penumbra coming up, which has a really, really neat out of bounds trick that uses a crate. And instead of just going out of bounds into the void, imagine if the void was full of water. Now you get to swim out of bounds. And there's even more to this clip too, because we're going to see Blood Thunder do a really high super jump. I don't know how you do this in a game that's basically the grandfather of Amnesia, The Dark Descent, but here we are.
Oh.
And you're going to see
Wow.
expertly landed on the pipe.
Right
He's
there
going
on
to
the
save and
pipe.
quit real
That is
quick so he can get on the platform. And there you go.
Oh, there he
So
is.
much
He's
of the
up
level
there.
was skipped. Fantastic. Golf clap.
Okay,
That was
Feasel, back
excellent.
to you. What's next?
All right. Well, if you missed it earlier, I would recommend watching Indiana Jones. Jangle Storm's run is full of interesting tricks. This game has a neat little out of bound that I believe he's going to get on first or second try here. So there we go.
Really dark and
We're
spooky.
out of bounds. It's very spooky. It's hard to see where you're going. Fortunately, you have a halo of light around you. And fortunately, the floors are not very solid. So as long as you're going down, you're going to get there one way or another.
Jolly good showing.
Yes, absolutely. So next, wait, why are we still talking like that? We're not doing golf anymore.
Kind
Wait,
of
no, but
fun.
the golf run was great though. So that's
Okay, but I have really hype Paper Mario. I'm too
okay.
excited.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All
Okay,
right.
so the Paper Mario run was the bonus run yesterday. We got to see that and the glitch exhibition, which was fantastic. So going into it, we have lots of good Paper Mario action here.
That's not Paper
As you
Mario.
can see. Okay, all right,
I've been
okay. So
lied
this
to.
is
Wow.
definitely the first part of
I
the
thought I
run. And
played
if
this.
you want to learn more, you can see him doing
Oh.
the ace
Hey,
for that, which then led into this, which is all of the things that
Nintendo.
he did in Ocarina of Time and some special movement from Mario suddenly led into shaboom, the end of the game.
Oh yeah, he won. Very good. All right.
Yes, this is
Go
what
team.
arbitrary code execution can do for you. So definitely make sure to check it out. It was so wild to see.
Well, I got a good one for number 4. We're gonna go into Castlevania: Dawn of Sorrow.
Mhm.
So we're gonna see the boss fight with Death, and as commentary dictates, Death doing nothing is somehow the worst thing that Death can do. Death is literally just floating. He spins his scythe a little bit to kind of show that he has moves, but now he literally does nothing. He just runs into our runner over and over and over. He's gonna come back. I don't want to do anything. It's a lazy Sunday for him, and you know. I thought it was probably like the funniest thing in a run that has a lot of really cool boss fights and a lot of good execution. That the worst thing that can happen is literally nothing.
This is just just a lazy day. Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't feel like it today. Just no
Death's in
motivation.
no hurry. Death has all the time in the world. Don't worry about it.
All right, Feasel, what do you have next?
Well, I am still in the Castlevania block. My
Yes.
next run, and I think this was a fantastic race. Castlevania 1 3-way race. This one was really tight right up to the end, and I don't know, it could have gone any way here. None of the runners had any major problems. They all finished about the same time. But check out this scroll lock. This is the first ever scroll glitch in this level and being performed live here in a GDQ. And as you can see, we've done it, and now we're able to transition onto the next area. And that skip does save a lot of time if you can get it right away. It's very tricky to get in any kind of setting, a marathon setting. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, speaking of...
And that was Socrates, by the way. That's the one who nailed that.
Fantastic movement. Oh, yes, of course. All right, let's go into number 2. We have, this was the other bonus game that we've seen in the last 24 hours, Grand Theft Auto 3. Now, I loved the run. I thought the commentary was fantastic, very, very entertaining. And here we can see...
What the hell is happening?
Yeah.
Easy Crew is doing what
is
we like to call mega jumping.
Yeah.
So this is exclusive to GTA 3. This is just something that he did all throughout the game, where it was just mega jumping constantly. It was like you have 2 events happening at once, and so it can trigger this wild jump reaction. And so it was just like constant times of just jumping forward. There was a lot of that. It was so much fun to watch. Please, if you're gonna go back and watch a run, this is definitely one that I would recommend.
Doesn't look safe. Just slams right into the railing.
Yes, of course.
It's not very OSHA
number
compliant.
1. Please told us he had something special.
Yes. So this is the absolute best thing that happened IMO of the past 24 hours. Trust me, it's something you don't want to miss. Go ahead and roll that clip. I'm so excited to talk about this one. Okay, well, Sent did a magic trick, that happens. But here's the most important part. The watermelon.
But
no, just bear with me. It's a hot summer here in the States right now. What better way to cool off than a nice full watermelon being cut up for everyone at home? I don't know if this is a prize or not. I'm super duper excited if it is, though. I'm going to donate all my money just to try and win this. I could always go to the grocery store and get it myself, but this was expertly crafted and cut. Look at that clean cut. Look at how juicy that watermelon looks. This is just, it's so good.
Okay, first of all, I don't think you can win that, but by all means, please go out and get one. And second of all, not a game, but I guess it's important to remind everybody that you can win a bunch of super duper awesome prizes by donating for the marathon. There's a lot of things that you can get that open up at all different times, plus the grand prizes that are available at all times.
And watermelon.
So definitely go and check that out. Now, before we head off for the evening, let's talk about what's coming up that we're excited for. What about you, Keys? What are you excited for?
I'm pretty excited to watch Crash 4. I mean, Crash is just something that I've always grown up watching, and usually the person I watch play Crash is Hobbs. So I'm really excited to watch someone play it well.
For me, it's going to be GeoGuessr. Have her doing GeoGuessr tomorrow, right after Golden Sun. And I mean, if you've never seen a speedrun of GeoGuessr, you just tune in. That's all I got to say.
What about you, Fu?
Okay, for me, I'm super excited for the Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus run. That is Mobius is doing a new game plus run. That's happening tomorrow afternoon. Definitely check that out among all of the other wonderful runs coming up. But next up, we have our Resident Evil 7 run. That is New Game Easy between Catlink and Captain Ezekiel. Make sure you check it out. I talked to them just a bit ago on stream. It was fantastic. They are both great, and the race is going to be awesome. So check that out, and we will see you next time on the Daily Recap. Thanks so much for joining us.
See you next time.
Bye.
Thank you so much for that recap. I am so impressed with how many awesome games we got to see today, and it's only about to get better with Resident Evil 7 race on board and then Dead Space right after. It's going to be a good time. I've got a couple donations to read from that $47 hype train we've got going. Jim donates $47 and says, jumping on that $47 train. Thank you so much. And then obviously $47 from Anonymous that says, apparently $47 trains are a thing. I'll take one first class ticket, please. Thanks y'all for running for such a great cause. And with that, I think we are ready to get into the race. We are about to do Resident Evil 7 Biohazard with Captain Ezekiel and Catlink. Take it away.